just another year.
It had been 2 weeks and it was still October 1915. In the town, the mystery of the serial gooner had ramped up and Greg was getting more impatient, convinced that his two friends were responsible. This consumed Greg and was once again a reason for him to neglect his son, Chad. However, regarding the weed business situation, Greg had figured out how to fire back at Otto and Alpha. Greg said, "Today's the day. I will stage Alpha as guilty for being the accomplice for the serial gooner. This way Otto's weed empire will take a hit." Then he drove to the station. Greg said, "I have found out info about the serial gooner. Last night when walking outside, I managed to catch his accomplice gooning out in public. The man is Alpha." Bob said, "Good, we are progressing, brother. I will arrange an arrest for him." Then at the school, the teachers were teaching the kids. Alpha said, "And then kids, remember to never let anyone dominate you. You are in charge of every situation. Cops are a stain of shit that you wanna avoid." A cop shouted, "Police! Hands behind your back. You are under arrest for public gooning." Alpha said, "What the fuck? I've been staged. The Alpha wouldn't do such a lame act." Egostical said, "Ha ha, suck it motherfucker, weren't so Alpha after all now were you? Are you in control now, huh?" Then the cops took Alpha to jail and his sentencing would be given later. However, Bob and Greg found the next location that the serial gooner had marked with his nut, this time in front of Greg's house. Greg shouted, "What the fuck? Why does the dipshit have to drop his nut here? I could have stepped on it." Bob said, "He has it out for you, brother. Wait, look, the gooner dropped an item again. It looks like a used dildo." Greg said, "I'm so gonna kill the guy." Then he thought to himself, "Wait, I have seen that dildo before. That's Beta's favorite signature dildo." Then as their work day ended, Greg rushed to home, filled with rage. Greg asked, "Have you heard anyone leave the house at night?" Chad said, "Yes, Daddy, someone sometimes leaves at 3 a.m. when the clock plays." Greg said, "Well, that fucking confirms it." Greg shouted, "The fucking lying stops now. I know you are the serial gooners. I've had enough." Beta said, "Dude, we have already told you 1,000,000 times that we are not involved in it." Greg shouted, "Oh yeah, 1,000,000 lies. I am sick of everyone lying. Nothing is real anymore, for fuck's sake." Clowner said, "Bro, you are crazy. Literally, I don't nut outside of this house." Greg screamed, "Get the fuck out of my house and never come back. You are not welcome here." Then he kicked them out and he proceeded to talk to himself. Greg said, "I must keep the weed business afloat alone. Tomorrow I will report them to the station." Then at the alley, Beta and Clownus were talking. Beta said, "Well, I guess we are now homeless and we are out of the weed business. Greg has lost his mind." Clownus said, "He was an annoying fucker anyway. Now we can bang in the dumpsters all night to keep warm." Beta said, "Yes, bang me right away. Maybe serial gooner can goon to us." Then meanwhile at the treehouse, Otto was reading the news and found out about Alpha getting arrested, and he immediately knew what was up. Otto said, "That fucking wanker, as much as I hate to say it, that was a pretty respectable move, but now you have asked for the worst that will come."